You know, there's a very small number of men and women that actually get to live out their dream of playing a professional sport. And we have grown-ass men and women out here doing whatever they can to try to make sure that does not happen. That is the weirdest thing in the world.
The WNBA has officially crossed a line that can no longer be ignored, and the explosion we just witnessed on the court between the Chicago Sky and the Indiana Fever proves that the entire league is sitting on a powder keg of its own making. When DiJonai Carrington chased down Sophie Cunningham on a fast break layup, wound up her left arm like a baseball pitcher, and brought it crashing straight across Cunningham's face and neck. She didn't just commit a routine basketball foul, she delivered a brutal, dangerous blow that sent Cunningham flying horizontally to the floor without any way to break her own fall.
Coming down trying to prevent the layup, but that is just a hard hit.
This was the exact nightmare scenario that sports analysts like Jason Whitlock had predicted months in advance, warning the league out loud and on record that Carrington's reckless style of physical play and targeted aggression was going to seriously injure someone if league executives refused to step in and establish boundaries. The WNBA leadership did absolutely nothing, choosing instead to look the other way, and as a direct result, a player was nearly decapitated on national television in broad daylight. The immediate aftermath of the play exposed a level of professional unseriousness and manufactured victimhood that has completely alienated fans who just want to watch high-level basketball.
Hey, Carrington didn't even wait to untie her shoes, and after she got ejected with a flagrant foul for coming across Sophie Cunningham's head. She goes on Twitter and she writes, "white privilege." Like, I just don't get, like, every moment this young lady got, and she's only played like a couple games this year because she was hurt, and then she comes and she already has shit off the court with her ex-girlfriend, and like every time she has a chance to blow some shit up and make a mockery of the league, best believe DiJonai Carrington is gonna do it.
After being rightfully slapped with a flagrant 2 foul and ejected from the game before the first quarter had even ended, Carrington didn't head back to the locker room to reflect on her dangerous actions or check if the player she just assaulted was okay. Instead, she immediately grabbed her phone, logged onto social media, typed out the words "white privilege," and tagged the Indiana Fever. Let that sink in for a moment.
DiJonai needs to be suspended, and not for the foul. I don't believe DiJonai Carrington's foul was suspension worthy. I think it was flagrant 2 worthy, obviously flagrant 2 worthy. Based on the WNBA's really like relaxed rules on suspensions, it isn't a suspension if it's in the NBA. Duh. Obviously, it's a suspension if it's in the NBA.
A player gets caught on camera committing a flagrant, excessive strike to an opponent's head and neck area, gets thrown out of the arena according to the official rulebook, and then immediately plays the race card to deflect accountability from her own violent behavior. It is a textbook display of weaponized narrative shifting, where doing something completely unethical is instantly reframed as oppression the second consequences are enforced.
Sophie is not Caitlin Clark. Sophie is from the show me. She want all the smoke. Sophie say, pull up. She's ready for battle. And that's exactly what she said, man, in so many words. So if you guys don't know, DiJonai Carrington was ejected from the game for literally giving Sophie Cunningham a clothesline from hell. She hit her with the Undertaker signature move. She down her flipped up.
To make matters even more absurd, this entire incident didn't happen in a vacuum. It arrived at the tail end of weeks of intense media scrutiny and targeted backlash directed at Sophie Cunningham. Cunningham has found herself at the center of massive public controversy after speaking out vocally and unapologetically about the biological realities of women's sport, arguing that women and girls deserve protected spaces free from unfair physical advantages. That stance, which aligns with common sense and basic fairness for female athletes, has made her public enemy number 1 for certain factions within and around the league. When you trace the timeline, the convergence of Cunningham standing up for women's athletics, the explicit warnings from media commentators about Carrington's history of face-level contact against star players like Caitlin Clark during previous postseasons, and this explosive clothesline tackle, it becomes glaringly obvious that this was about far more than a simple box-out or a mistimed defensive block. The contrast in character between the player who delivered the blow and the player who received it could not have been starker when microphones finally caught up with them after the final buzzer. While while Carrington cowardly ducked out of media availability and refused to answer questions from reporters about her actions or her viral social media posts, Sophie Cunningham stood tall and handled the situation with total class. When asked about the hit, Cunningham didn't whine, didn't cry to the cameras, and didn't attempt to manufacture a fake victim narrative. She looked the media dead in the eye and delivered 3 unforgettable sentences. "I've never really spoken to her and have no beef with her, but I guess she has some pent-up stuff. So get your stuff off, that's fine, I can take it." Zero drama, zero victimhood, and absolute toughness.
Cunningham, of course, as usual, responding and not taking it lying down, responded to all of this, saying, "I think the league is taking care of that," meaning the foul. And this has nothing to do with race. Last year, I did the same thing, and I got kicked out of a game, and I deserved to be kicked out. There's no reason even to play that card, meaning the race card. Clearly, I think it was unnecessary. I don't even know her. She wasn't even on the team last year when all that was going on. But I do think people play the fever. We're nationally televised. There's a lot of eyes on us, and people just want attention. And that's her just trying to get attention.
It is the exact reason why Cunningham has become an icon for fans who are sick and tired of modern sports culture devolving into endless social media posturing and grievance mongering. Meanwhile, the broader basketball ecosystem, including icons like LeBron James, is watching this unfolding disaster with absolute bewilderment. LeBron, who has built a publicly documented relationship with Caitlin Clark and has consistently stepped up to support her through every missed call, physical cheap shot, double standard, and media bias she has faced since entering the league, understands the reality of what is happening here. He knows what it looks like when a player gets rightfully ejected for endangering an opponent and instantly tries to make it racial on the internet.
You know, there's a very small number of men and women that actually get to live out their dream of playing a professional sport. And we have grown-ass men and women out here doing whatever they can to try to make sure that does not happen. That is the weirdest thing in the world.
He knows what it means when an arena crowd cheers wildly as an opposing player is tossed for a dangerous flagrant foul. The entire ecosystem is growing exhausted with a double standard, where certain players can act with absolute impunity, threaten opponents with physical violence, post inflammatory race-baiting rhetoric from the locker room, and face zero meaningful institutional discipline from league commissioners.
It just shows the type of person that she is. She, like, you do it. Like, it's no doubt about what you did was a unnecessary flagrant 2 foul. And then you come out, you delete your message because you're a coward. Because that's what cowards do. If you go stand on it. Because you were so mad after the game, stand on it. And then secondly, you write 8:23. Like, okay, I guess that's the next time they play Indiana. You ready for Sophie? You gonna fight? You ready?
Let's not forget the extensive paper trail of violence that preceded this specific game. This was not an isolated accident or a one-time heat-of-the-moment mistake. This is the exact same player who previously scraped her fingernails across Jessica Shepard's face. The exact same player who threw a blow to Caitlin Clark's eye during the heat of the 2024 playoffs. And the exact same player who has consistently danced right on the razor's edge of professional sportsmanship. When analysts warned that someone was going to get seriously hurt if the league continued to coddle and pander to this brand of intimidation, they were right. The WNBA's historical reluctance to hand down heavy, season-altering suspensions for headshots and facial strikes has created an environment where offenders feel emboldened rather than checked. When a player can clothesline someone on a breakaway, get tossed, and immediately hop online to throw digital hand grenades about white privilege while tagging the opposing franchise, the disciplinary model is completely broken. Despite the hostile environment, despite the home crowd cheering the ejection, and despite the circus surrounding the game, the Indiana Fever did what they do best. They closed out the game and secured a gritty 90-86 victory. They let their play on the hardwood do the talking while the noise raged around them. But winning the game doesn't sweep the underlying sickness under the rug. The WNBA is now facing a definitive crossroads that will dictate the future credibility of the entire organization. Commissioner Kathy Engelbert and league front offices cannot simply issue a standard, wrist-slap fine of $1,000 and a nominal one-game vacation and pretend like everything is fine.
I'm glad that they rescinded it, because for that action being minimal, like a brush, this is what should have happened and the right thing happened. What? Like, what is...
All I'm saying is I have flashbacks to college when my teammate bumped into a coach like this and it was a problem.
Where your teammate did what?
Bumped into one of our coaches this way and it was a problem. But I think when we analyze it, if Kaylin didn't say anything, it is marginal. I think rescinding it was fine. But I do understand in the moment how we got here.
Well, and this is why you have the processes in place for the league to be able to... That is a deep sigh. You good?
Yeah, it's just always something.
When a player deliberately targets an opponent's head, causes a dangerous multi-foot fall, refuses to address the press, and uses their platform to drop inflammatory, racially charged smoke bombs mid-game, it requires a severe multi-game suspension that sends a loud, unmistakable message that player safety actually matters. The fans see through the noise, the players know what happened, and the digital footprint of that Threads post is permanent. Sophie Cunningham took the blow, popped right back up, got her team the win, and proved that toughness still has a place in women's basketball. Now, the ball is entirely in the WNBA's court to decide whether they want to protect the integrity of the sport or continue letting online posturing and unchecked physical recklessness run the asylum. Drop your thoughts in the comments below on what kind of suspension DiJonai Carrington actually deserves for this stunt, and whether the league's failure to listen to early warnings is the real root cause of this mess. Hit that subscribe button, stay tuned, and we will keep bringing you the unvarnished truth as this story develops.